What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is your review for Project Runway Season 19, Episode 2. Now, listen. This episode was a whole lot. Project Runway, y'all are giving me a whole lot right here at the beginning of the season. Oh, my. Oh, me. Oh, my. Oh, my. Okay. So, this is the streetwear challenge. Listen, some of this stuff I'm going to breeze through because I'm going to have to spend a lot of time on a lot of other stuff, okay? So, it is the streetwear challenge. We have social influencer and stylist and fashionable y'all know what I'm saying, Wisdom K. Now, I started following Wisdom K down to the TikTok because he used to put together some great looks, okay? And I'm here for all of them. He's definitely a stylist and so forth and so on. So he is, not only they had him at the beginning introducing what the challenge was for this week, he's also the guest judge at the end, just in case I forget to say it at the end, okay? So let's get this whole thing started. Let me go back. I gotta get to my notes because, y'all, this whole thing, it was a whole lot. It was a whole lot that went down, okay? Now, Project, which I really think I'm saying his name right. I've heard it a few times this episode. I feel like I'm saying his name right. So they, at the end of the first challenge, which they already was up all damn night and back and forth and all of that, they went right into the next challenge. But, you know, I think part of that is just the beast of a competition show that you're trying to film in a couple of weeks. But I also think part of it was, again, we were dealing with outside elements as far as the Rona was concerned and trying to get the filming done. I think that's part of it, but I could be wrong. That's just how I feel. So they told them what their challenge was, and then they immediately went into the next challenge. So they were going to go back to the apartments, and when they got to the apartments, they had the cards for their models. Now, Project said by the time he was able to get to the table to get the models, the only model that was left was a white man. Now, that's important. He didn't care about the fact that it was a white man because actually the white man that was left, I think his name was Tech. That's actually the model from the winning designer from last season. So he's not a bad guy. He's not a bad model. But the problem was Project knew, he's from Haiti. I think I've said that a million times. He knew immediately that in his design, he wanted to represent his Haitian culture. He wanted to very much, and I think when they were filming this, Haiti's had a lot of strife for years now. But with everything that's going on present day with Haiti, we know we had the pictures a few weeks ago with the border guards whipping those Haitian, I'm not gonna call them immigrants, people with, they say it was, you know, the reins from the horses, but neither here nor there, it was leather straps. That's a whip, as far as I'm concerned. And so I think it made it even more powerful that he wanted to represent his country. He talked about the political strife and all of the hard hits that Haiti has gone through in the last, you know, probably 20 years at this point. Haiti has a rich culture. If you don't know, go. I ain't gonna say Google it. Go get a book. Google won't even do it justice. Go get a book and read up on the rich history of what Haiti is. But with that being said, he didn't have a problem having a white model in general. He had a problem having a white model for this challenge, knowing what he was going to do with his look. He said he felt like there would be some cultural appreciation. Some cultural appropriation, not appreciation. Appropriation, and he just didn't want that appearance. He didn't want that look, right? This very ethnic Haitian outfit on a white man. Ain't a good look. And, you know, let's be clear. We know where we are. We know the world we live in these days, right? We are very, very conscious of cultural appropriation. Very conscious of it. And so he didn't want to make a big deal about it, but he felt some kind of way. So he was outside sketching, and Meg, aka Karen, was out there. Now listen, I'm going to call her a Karen 5,000 times in this episode. So if you are offended by that or you got a problem with that, this probably ain't going to be the review you want to look at. I'm just going to go and tell you now. Meg says, oh my gosh, that is so terrible. Oh, I understand. And she starts going off on this whole tirade about Black Lives Matter, and I am here for you, and I understand the black culture, and I am one with you, and I'm power to the people. And when this first happened, you know, Project was like, okay, girl, like, in the beginning, I appreciated that you had my back, but now it's becoming very annoying. He didn't say the word patronizing. I'm going to say the word patronizing. Listen, we have all met that white person that crosses the line between I understand and support on into that patronizing, I feel your pain, brother moment, right? Meg had crossed that line into I feel your pain, brother, right? So at a certain point, Project was like, all right, I'm done with this conversation because now you're just getting on my nerves. Like, Bones closed the door because he was tired of hearing the conversation because they were on the inside. And it just got to be a bit much. And it, you know, this is what I need white America to understand. At a certain point, you make us uncomfortable because it's almost like a moment where you have taken it from us and you have turned it into, you've made it about you. You've taken it from us and you've made it about you. And so now it becomes uncomfortable of a conversation. And it's not your conversation. Listen, everything ain't for everybody. Take race out of it and make it about gender, Miss Meg, aka Karen. If you have a white man patting you on your back, telling you about your struggle, and I know what it's like to be disenfranchised as a woman. Oh my gosh, that's so terrible. He said, grab him by the, and like at a certain point, you're going to be side-eyed like, okay, that's enough. And I think that's what people need to understand. You can share the struggle without overdoing it. And I know I'm rambling, but this episode kind of got under my skin. It really did. Because here's what I understand about watching reality shows at this point in my life. As long as I've been watching them and I've been reviewing them for a couple of years now, what I understand is what we get is only a fraction of what happened. So for as long as that scene went on, which was only a few minutes, I know it was probably 20, 30 minutes in real time. And 20, 30 minutes may not sound like a lot, but think about having to listen to somebody you really tired of listening to for 30 minutes. And you really can't tell them to shut the fuck up. I'm just saying. So anyway, they go to Mood. They got $300 down to the Mood. They get to the workroom, and Christian is doing his first walkthrough. He gets to Project, and he said, you know, Project is explaining the situation, and Christian gets it. Christian understands exactly what he's saying, and Christian says, well, have you asked, you know, anybody to switch? And he said, well, I did ask. He said one of the other, and I don't know everybody's name yet, so I think, was it Anna? It might have been Anna. And he said, well, I asked, and she said no. He said, well, let me ask for you. He said, let me try. And Project was like, I mean, if you can get her to do it, that's cool. So Christian goes over, and he's really nice about it, and he explains what the situation is, and he says, listen, you know, he's got a really good model. It's not the fact that this is a bad person. The proportions are about the same, so you're not too deep into your situation. Would you think about switching? And you can tell she doesn't really want to do it. But again, Christian is asking, you're on camera now. So she agrees to do it. So cool, we're good. Here's where the shit goes left. So, what's my man's name? Because I'm about to forget his name now. Was it Kenneth? No, it wasn't Kenneth. Kenneth's the other black guy. Kenneth is, we're going to talk about Kenneth in a few minutes. Oh, shoot. Now I remember the man's name. Maybe it was Corey. Anyway. Maybe it was Corey. Anyway, I'm going to get his name. I think it was Kenneth. Maybe it was Kenneth. Anyway, Kenneth is of Asian descent. And he saw what happened with Project, and he said, you know what? I kind of want an Asian model because my outfit is Asian inspired, and I wanted to represent my culture, and I sort of feel the same way. So he decides that he's going to ask Meg to switch designers because Meg has switch models because Meg has an Asian model. But before we get to the Asian model, Christian has his one-on-one with Meg. Now, when they were at Mood, Christian tried to tell Meg, you might want to get some color. This is streetwear. You got some very muted tones. You might want some color. And Meg very politely, well, no, she won't that polite, but she said in a nice way, basically, don't tell me what to do. This is how I do things. And she was like, well, I don't really have that. What did she say? I don't really have that great of a relationship with color. Like last challenge, I had to use color because that's what the challenge was, but this is more my speed. Christian was like, all right then. So when they get to their one-on-one and she's showing him what she wants to do, he tells her, listen, I like your concept because I think what you're doing is very different, but your colors are boring. You've got beige on top of brown. This is streetwear. So she gets all flustered and she's crying again. And he's like, whoa, don't, Christian. Christian is so blunt. Like, I love him, but sometimes he irritates me. He was like, listen, don't get all dramatic on me. Like, don't do that. Don't get theatrical. He was like, I'm just telling you, this might be a good look. And, I feel like and then she was like, this is just so much more stressful than I thought. And this is just, I didn't know. I didn't expect it. I didn't know. I told y'all last week that irritates me. So she already upset about that whole situation. So when, I think it was Kenneth, y'all. When, I'm going to get his name. I'll make sure I'm right. So don't leave comments saying it ain't Kenneth. If it ain't Kenneth, I'm going to get it right. I'm going to fix it. But he goes to her and asks her. And you can tell he's nervous. You can tell he's not really comfortable asking her to do it. And he even says, well, don't worry about it. If it's too much, if it's too hard for you, if you got, like, he keeps giving her outs. And all she had to say was no. All she had to say was no. But I understand where she was coming from in the beginning. Because in the beginning, I feel like where she was coming from is, if I say no, that's going to make me look very insensitive. If I say no on camera, that's going to make me look very insensitive, right? So I understood where she was coming from the beginning. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think in the beginning, it is Kenneth. In the beginning, I don't think Kenneth should, I think he allowed, it had gone on too far for him to ask to change models at that point. That's my opinion. But again, all she had to say was no. So when the models come in for their fitting, they go to talk to the models and, and Kenneth says, well, we had a conversation. And she was like, don't say we. Don't make it a we. We didn't have a conversation. This is what you wanted to do. Excuse me. But they're in front of the models and he's trying to explain that they had a conversation about switching and why they wanted to switch. And she cuts him off and she's like, no, it wasn't us. We didn't discuss anything. I mean, I understand about the whole race thing, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. But don't do that. And, Kenneth was like, what do you mean? And she was like, oh, just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. And I was like, oh, damn. So then he was like, okay, Meg, you don't have to be like that. You don't have to be like that. And she was like, be like what? Be like what? Come on, let's go. We're wasting time. So then she takes her model to the side and she's trying to explain to her model that it wasn't anything personal. She was like, apparently I can only design for white men. Girl, that is not what. Then she gonna say, I mean, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? How come a woman can't express herself and let people know when she's been hurt? Girl, you literally just cussed that man out in front of people. You cussed him out in front of company. Them models in there just minding their good business. All they want to do is put the clothes on, see if they fit, walk that damn runway, and go the fuck home. You started this. You ain't have to do all that in front of them. And you didn't have to talk to him like that. Like, you don't get to talk to people like that, telling people shut the fuck up and all that other stuff. Them fighting words. That's aggressive. If somebody had said that to you, you'll be running a production. So then, Kenneth was talking to Projay, and Projay was like, listen, I got your back. You know, don't let nobody talk to you like that. So then Projay ended up going off on Meg, telling her, hey, sweetie, telling her that he fake and everything else. So then they come back around, and she was like, she hears it, and she starts realizing that the workroom is sort of against her. So now she's in her feelings, and now she's upset, and she gonna go to Kenneth and say, I did this for you. I can't believe you that I did this for you, and I allowed this to happen, and I allowed that to happen, and you got me sitting here looking crazy now. You got me looking crazy, and everybody's mad at me. And I'm like, no, you got yourself looking crazy because you did this to yourself. Like, they didn't do this to you. So then her and Projay gets into it again. Lord, they standing over top of, what's my baby name? Zayden. And Zayden is standing there like, all I was trying to do was make my Black Lives Matter jacket. That's all I was trying to do was make my Black Lives Matter jacket, okay? Because this is a whole lot going on. So after her and Projay gets into it, and Projay told her, you fake as fuck. I see right through you. Earlier today, you was all Black Lives Matter, and now you mad. And she was like, all I'm saying is this could have happened 16 hours earlier. Now that I agree with. That part I agree with. Listen, I think Meg had a point in the beginning. But because of the way she handled it, it went downhill from there. It rolled bloop, 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 downhill from there. And it was the way it was handled. Not that you didn't have a valid point, because let's be clear, I think you had a valid point. But when Kenneth came to you, what you should have said was, no. That's it. That's all. The answer is no. But you didn't do that. Then Kenneth runs outside crying. Meg runs outside crying. Meg is like, take this mic off me. I'm ready to go home. I am shutting down. I'm ready to go home. Then everybody is outside consoling Kenneth, smoking their good cigarettes, honey, consoling Kenneth. And Kenneth is upset because he was like, listen, I'm just not very confrontational. And I'm like, I can't believe she did that to me. Like, why did she talk to me like that? Listen, here's what I can appreciate. That Projay was outside consoling Kenneth, and he was still sewing. He ain't put that damn garment down, okay? He said, listen, this is still a competition, okay? And I'm still here to win, all right? So all that went down, child. So the next morning, we get back in the workroom. Meg ain't there. Meg ain't nowhere to be seen. Meg ain't around. They like, where's Meg? She better hurry up and get in here. She gonna run out of time. And I knew then, Meg ass ain't coming back. Meg ass ain't coming back. And what had happened? Next thing you know, Christian coming in the house, making the announcement, or coming into the workroom, making the announcement that Meg will not be coming back. Projay said he is not proud of his behavior because he know his parents going to be looking at him talking about he was ratchet on TV. He said, but sometimes some things you just got to deal with. So, of course, the rest of the workroom is kind of, you know, they you know, because now, he feels some kind of way. Kenneth feels bad because he feel like he's the reason why Meg quit. And the rest of them are like, that ain't your fault. You ain't got nothing to do with it. It ain't your fault that they quit, okay? So then we get to Zayden. Zayden made a beautiful fatigue coat, and on the back he wrote, say their names, and he is giving his whole statement. He's from Chicago. He said, listen, growing up in the city as a black man, I have dealt with a lot of issues, things that that have come to the forefront in the last few years, and I just wanted to make a statement with my streetwear collection. Okay. The other person, y'all know how this editing go, child. They show us who is gonna be on the top and who's gonna be on the bottom, child. The other person that whose collection I saw, I was a little worried about was Aaron, because when they first showed us Aaron, I was a little worried about Aaron. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little worried about Aaron. Because it looked real boring. It looked real boring, okay? But then when I saw it come down the runway, I was like, okay, I'm here for that. Kenneth decides that he was so overwhelmed by everybody having his back and everybody supporting him, and he was so overwhelmed by that he wants to get a scrap of everybody's from everybody's design from this challenge and sort of make a patchwork vest. Listen, it was a great concept. It did not translate very well. Let's get to these looks. Listen, it's already 20 minutes. I can't spend a whole lot of time on these looks, okay? I got to give you what I liked and what I didn't like, and we're going to talk about what happened at the end. So, I definitely was here for Projay's look. The judges definitely got it and understood it. He had the year of the Haitian Revolution when they got their independence. He had the look on the back, which is the a Haitian I don't want to say goddess, because I don't think it's quite a goddess, but the mother, the Haitian mother, who cries tears of blood when she is unhappy. And it was a beautiful look. It was definitely a great look. Aaron's, by the time he got done accessorizing and adding all his pieces, honey, I was here for it. I said, wait a minute. Is that the same outfit that I was unimpressed with? Because I really did appreciate it. Let me just go down my list, child. Zayden's final look was absolutely stunning. I loved it. I want that jacket. I want that army fatigue jacket with the say my name on the back. Chastity, I don't think hers was streetwear. Like, I didn't get streetwear out of hers. It was very, you know, sheer, and it had the tulle, and it looked 90s club to me. I didn't get streetwear from it. Sabrina's was nice. It was very colory. It had like it looked like a warrior princess. I'm gonna start trying to put some pictures in as we get deeper into the season. Unfortunately, Kenneth's look was a fail. It looked absolutely horrid. He tried to do that whole patchwork thing. It just didn't work. It gave me nothing. The judges got nothing out of it. But of course, he had a whole moment on the runway where he broke down and he tried to explain what happened and why he changed his concept, and what happened with Meg. And of course, the judges was like, "That is horrible. You should never have to go through that. I'm so sorry that you know that was your experience." Chantal's look was nice. It was to me, it was street. You know, I thought it was cute. I thought it was a street look. She had a little jacket and so forth. I loved Arturio's look. I loved his look. He had like this whole weird jacket thing with the mask, and I was here for it. I was definitely here for his look. It looked a little crossing guard with the colors he chose, but overall, I was here for the look. Carl's look was very street, was black on black on black, you know. Anna was very dramatic. She gave us a reveal and like 3 pieces with a face covering. Very dramatic. Very dramatic. But ultimately, the people who were at the top were Zayden, excuse me, Zayden, Projay, of course, and Aaron. They were at the top, and the bottom, of course, was Kenneth and Darren. No, yeah, Kenneth and Darren. But if you've been watching Project Runway as long as I've been watching Project Runway, as soon as Meg left, I kind of figured they wasn't going to eliminate nobody, and we were just going to go through the motions for the rest of the episode, because it's really too early in this episode to have sort of a double elimination, unless they just and my thing is, Darren's look was horrible, and last week he didn't even make his look, so if they was going to eliminate anybody, it would have been Darren. But the fact that they act like they wanted to give people second chances, I said, well, they ain't about to eliminate nobody, and they didn't. So, week 3, we're going to see what they do. But yeah, honey, it was a whole Karen situation. Now, y'all put it in them comments. If y'all saw it differently or y'all disagree, let me know. But from where I was sitting, baby, that was a whole Karen thing working. Okay? All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace.